Here's the finished sketch as an ink wash. So it started out as a pencil drawing and trying to anticipate that it was going to be an ink, so keeping it relatively light. Again, this isn't really the whole body, it's kind of like half the body, so just kind of starting with the head, using again the circular selection, the center line, locating all the features, still thinking of that egg-shaped character, where it has the nose right between the eyes and then dragging it out, extending it out, giving it a fuller body there. And sometimes when something like the nose, where it's symmetrically placed, becomes somewhat suggested, but you still want to build that up. Same with the ears, still using the rectangular basic shape construction. And once you have the rectangle shape and the geometry, then the curved parts fit right into place. A little bit of action, he's kind of pent up, crouching down a little bit. So he has the kind of the stick figure arms, rounded circular forms after that. Move this arm out a little bit. Has the 3D look to it, so you guys remember the hand and everything. So here it has a little bit of the ink. Again, the brush has the round point. It's a fine point brush. And sometimes I'm putting in some smooth lines, and then as I'm dragging the brush, thinking might as well add a little texture to it. But a consistent smooth line mostly is in the ears, just as showing a different pattern, different texture, giving that thin and thick stroke and the heavier pieces at the bottom. So kind of building that up. And the ink looks like a profile from a fine point on either end and kind of bulge in the middle, similar to the Illustrator profile on a stroke. So it gives a little bit of texture. And then the more you look at it, then you say, well, could things be darker? The whole ear could be as dark as the nose, but I'm thinking I'll do an ink wash. So just letting it dry longer than it looks like it, and then taking out the graphite. And now just still using the same ink I have used for the outside border lines and the contour lines, and just here using a wash with that ink, and it handles similar to the watercolor. There's a couple subtle changes. When you put the color down, if it's too dark, you can still bring it right back off the paper just by holding the brush a little longer, just kind of blocking it out, kind of a mid-range value. Put little accent lines all around it, and then going back in with a little heavier wash, a darker value, and it'll blend right in if the ink is still wet. Put some little whiskers in there. You can always take that out later with a wash. But once it dries, it's pretty permanent, so you just gotta watch yourself on there. Just touching it up. And there's your ink wash.